Hey class, welcome to week 6 of Principles of Sports Coaching. I got 3 weeks left. Hope you all had a really good 4th of July and hopefully are enjoying your summers. Wanted to go over what we're doing for week 6. Week 6 is titled Physical Training. So what we're looking at this week, we just want to look at some of the basic principles of physical training, and just want to get you guys thinking about what you would do as a coach. Obviously, you can work on past experiences that you've had as an athlete, and current experiences, as many of you are still current athletes. So this week we got 2 discussion posts and a quiz, and all of the discussion posts and the quiz will be over chapter 13. Be over chapter 13. So you can get all the answers, and it's pretty straightforward and pretty basic stuff. Learning outcomes for this week. Want you guys to have a greater understanding of physical training and its benefits. The differences between anaerobic and aerobic energy systems. So this is important because you want to know, as you're thinking about a training program, you want to know, what does your sport require? Anaerobic, obviously, shorter bursts of energy. So, football, weightlifting, stuff like that. Aerobic, long bursts of energy, cross country running, that sort of thing. And some sports require both of these. So I want you guys to dive in and read about these things in chapter 13, and then discover what energy systems benefit your sport. There's a lot of coaches out there that, when they're planning a training regimen, they're not considering what is going to benefit their particular sport. So if you're a basketball coach and you just have your athletes out running miles and miles every day, that'll benefit some, but that's not going to benefit your team holistically as they get ready to practice and start games. I remember being in college myself, and so there were times our coach would, we did a lot of outdoor running and a lot of long distance running, and then when practice started, I was exhausted. Because it's a different kind of workout. It's more of a, basketball is both anaerobic and aerobic. And then want you guys to think about different exercises that your athletes would need to be able to succeed. I have this as just a short 3-minute clip on Alabama and Alabama football and their strength and conditioning coach. I think he says some really good things in here about holistically training his athletes. So the other important part as you're thinking about a training program is you want to think about your philosophy, one. So we're going back to our philosophy. What's going to be your style of play? And as a head coach, if your style of play should match your strength and conditioning and what you're going to require of your athletes. From a basketball standpoint, if we're going to get up and down and run and be a fast break team, we're going to want to have a strength and conditioning program that will fit that style. The other important part of a training program, especially in preseason, you want your guys and gals to be bonding, and you want it to be hard, and you want them to continue to grow, obviously as a team and as athletes. And so those are important things to think about. There's something about competing with one another and doing stuff that's hard together that really brings a group together. And so if you have a training program that is really easy, you're not going to really, you might not bring your team together. So you want to make it challenging, you want to make it hard. And then the other important piece is you want a team that's going to be all in together when the season starts. And when things get hard, sometimes the athletes that aren't totally bought into your program will end up weeding themselves out because they don't want to show up at 6 a.m. for a workout, or they're upset that they gotta get up and run today or whatever that is. And so you can start to weed people out. So discussion question one, you guys will think about the differences between anaerobic and aerobic, and then think about what your sport primarily will use and why. Discussion question two, what are the 4 phases of an annual training cycle? You'll find that in chapter 13. And then think about a drill that you would have your team do during a preseason phase. And think about some of the things that the strength and conditioning coach from Alabama, what he talks about in the holistic approach, and the character development and all that, and try to think of a really good drill that maybe you've used before or something that you would use to benefit your athletes and your team. Hope you all are doing really well, and let me know if you guys have any questions. And one more thing I want to remind you guys of, in week 7, our book review is due. So make sure you guys look ahead to week 7, pick a book. You don't want to have to cram and read a whole book and write a book review in 1 week. So hopefully you guys have all picked your book. We gave a list of books. If your book is outside of that list, please get it approved by me, to be able to use that for the book review. So just wanted to remind you guys of that so you guys can read and not have to cram on that last week. All right, hope you guys have a great week.